Hello everyone, welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. We have the Rebel Heart Tarot on the tarot table today. Reason being, I'm looking at old flames, possible old flames of Meghan Markle that might be coming back into the picture. And now this is a Neil Sean story from a few weeks ago. I kept it in the back of my mind. There was a lot going on, no time to read on it, but things have quietened down just a little bit. And so I'm looking at it now. Neil Sean story, as I say, so it's an allegedly story, and it's about Meghan's alleged secret first husband. Now, many of us have heard this rumor. It's swirled around ever since Meghan Markle first showed up as Harry's girlfriend. There was a rumor that Trevor wasn't her first husband. There was a previous husband, someone she met while she was at Northwestern, someone who is now a lawyer, that they might just have got married, and that marriage might just have been annulled because his parents had a bit of a freak out about the whole situation. And I'm not going to mention the guy's name. We will respect his privacy. He has tried to keep a very quiet and private life. And we're not going to dig around into the biracial daughter that he has or any of that. We're not talking about that here. We're just looking at this alleged first marriage, a secret first marriage that Neil Sean says way back in the day, the National Enquirer had a big story about, headline, front cover kind of a story. And Harry was very disturbed by it, was asking Meghan, what's all this about? And she said, no, nothing, denied it all. And basically hoped that the story would just disappear quietly. And Neil Sean said that he actually reached out to the National Enquirer and asked them about the story, and they said that they'd never heard anything from lawyers asking them to take the story down or correct the story or anything like that. It was just basically ignored in the hopes that the story would go away. And Neil Sean said it was quite a detailed story. I've gone looking for it, can't find it. Apparently it has been taken down now. But anyway, we're going to look at this because according to Neil Sean, allegedly, this story about the first marriage, secret first marriage, is coming back around for a second visit, and things could get a little bit tricky for Meghan Markle if it does. So we're going to have a quick look because we're looking at old rumors, gossip, possible old flames. We're going to ask a little 5-card reading. What was the exact nature of the relationship, if there was a relationship with Meghan and this guy that she met at Northwestern, and what's the story about this coming back around? I want to know what's going on. I want to know what Harry thinks about all of this. Is he okay with it? Does he believe the rumors? Is he suspicious? Is he upset? What's going on? And I want to know if the story did come around again, hypothetically speaking, how it would impact Harry. What would be his response to it if it sort of became public and people were gossiping about it again? We know that Harry reads just about everything that is said about him, allegedly, from various sources say this, that he's very busy with secret accounts, watching, listening, reading, clapping back, just like Meghan is allegedly. So if it comes back around, he would be aware of it. So we're just having a quick look. And of course it's tarot, and it is fun and entertainment purposes only. For fun and entertainment, it's all opinion, all speculation. Just read energy and disclaimer in the box below. 7 of Cups in reverse as our underlying energy. The delusion card, the pie in the sky, self-deception card even, and it's in reverse. It's about potentials and thinking that you possibly have more available in terms of potential than you actually do. When the card is in reverse, the cold hard reality strikes, and it might be for Harry that this the reality of the woman that he married might just be beginning to dawn, that maybe she wasn't entirely truthful with him. Maybe there was some level of deception or denial or any of those very Neptunian words that the Seven of Cups represents for me as a reader. And so that's interesting that sits under everything else in this reading. Heart of the matter, what are we dealing with today? We're dealing with Eight of Cups. That is walking away from a situation that was very sad. That could be that previous relationship, if there was a previous relationship when she was a student at Northwestern that ended in tears. It didn't go the way that possibly she imagined it was going to go. I think he comes from a very wealthy family, and possibly she imagined that life was going to go in one direction, and then it turned out no, it wasn't. And maybe he walked away from the situation. His parents made him walk away. But whoever walked away, there is the Eight of Cups, leaving situation that is very sorrowful, very miserable, that you might regret, and just leaving it and disappearing. So what was the situation, if there was even a situation, between Megan and this guy? I'm going to, as I say, not mention him directly by name. We got the Nine of Wands in reverse. Again, an unhappy card. That, see, it's a celebration-y kind of an energy when it's upright. Not normally what the Nine of Wands would represent. It would be about boundaries and being protected and making your last stand together, upright. In reverse, giving up and walking away. Again, that energy of they might have been Romeo and Juliet, young couple, so in love, making their last stand against parental wrath, but parental wrath would have have finished this relationship off. Somehow, if there was a relationship, and it's possible because of the Eight of Cups, definitely, if there was a relationship, they weren't able to withstand criticism from parents, society, whatever, and they had to give it up. And they weren't able to defy parents or the older authority people who had money, status, whatever. They gave up on it. He more likely gave up on it than she did. Reading between the lines of the situation. So that looks like what actually happened, which it makes a whole lot of sense. Tell us about this coming back around idea, that this story is coming back around. Is this just all make-believe? That's a card of make-believe, by the way, the Seven of Cups when it's upright. Or is it true? Is this story ready to make a comeback somehow, somewhere? Someone's got it, someone's sitting on it, someone's waiting. We get the planning card. Two of Wands. Someone is planning something with this story. And I think that's why it was dropped into YouTube, onto the particular YouTube channel that it was. Might just be part of that strategy, that plan, that almost like a warning that, hey, it's known and it hasn't been forgotten and it hasn't just disappeared. And guess what? There are people in the know who might be sitting on it and might be waiting for a strategic moment to drop this little juicy tidbit. It looks quite intentional because it's the Two of Wands, which is all about planning. So, Harry's feelings, suspicions, indifference, anxiety, whatever. Let's just see Harry and feelings about this situation. What do we get? We get the Hierophant, and it's marriage and commitment and vows. And I think that Harry believes that what Megan told him and what she promised stands. And I don't think that he believes there was a previous marriage. I think she's told him that the Trevor thing happened very last minute in the relationship, that it almost didn't mean anything, and that his marriage to Megan, Hierophant is marriage and commitment, his marriage to Megan is the only one that counts. I think that's what he believes. He wants to believe. It's all the formalities, all the promises, the vows, in front of the royal family. The Hierophant is the royal family, is the king or the queen, particularly the late queen. It was all done by the book. It was all done with the Archbishop of Canterbury. It was all proper. There's nothing in there that he needs to worry about. He might have been worried about the National Enquirer. There were all kinds of stories and tapes, videotapes, all kinds of things that were popping up all over the show and having to be removed, disappeared. A lot of people speculate that the royal family got security services involved and they cleaned up Meghan's past for her, and that's clean and tidy past, if ever there was a clean and tidy past for me, the Hierophant. Quite a different story if that card was in reverse. So how would Harry react if he found out that actually Meghan married this guy when she was very young, and you know there are possible other consequences of that story that we don't quite know about, and has lied to him? Let's say hypothetically, if he were to find something out like this, hypothetically, how would he react? What impact would it have on him? There would be a lot of fighting about this, a lot, and I reckon it could be a deal breaker for the marriage if this were to be revealed, because the Five of Wands is lots of shouting. It's very fiery, lots of shouting, lots of blame, lots of I believed you, you told me, and I believed you, and now you're making a fool of me again. That's possible in that energy, Five of Wands. So I think there is something afoot here. I'm just getting suspicion, Seven of Cups in reverse, and that Two of Wands. It's a wait. Somebody's waiting for the optimal moment to drop this little bit of information. That's how the energy is reading for me. That is all my opinion, of course, and we will have to wait and see whether there is any truth to the story at all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.